Hello, this is Pat Wannabe here with Straight.
Hey, hello, and welcome everyone. Today we're going to be going over our lightsaber creations. So we have been building these on the last special edition of Talking Bricks. Both of us had the challenge of creating a complete self-designed on-the-spot lightsaber. And yeah, today we're just going to quickly go over what we ended up with. And Padawannabe, start us off with your creation.
Okay, so if you watched the stream at all, we had no idea what we were doing. So all we had to go on was what we knew of Lego builds from before. My Lego building goes pretty far back. It's pretty extensive. It's not just Star Wars. So I had a little bit to go off of, although mostly Star Wars. And again, we didn't really know where to start. So our first idea was obviously get a bunch of roundish pieces. And then a way to connect them kind of was up in the air. Can we do normal kind of Lego connections like you see with my hand down here? Or are we going to have to do some more Technic builds with the rods and the piece, grommets and things like that? So blasphemous, we're going to disassemble. So what I wanted to do, first of all, was try to get the sizing right, which was kind of problematic in itself. So what we kind of went with, I think early we discovered that maybe the 4x4 size might be a little too small. So we went with the larger size, and doing a little bit more research, I think we might discover that the 6x6 round is probably the best kind of overall diameter. What I did here was basically just a bunch of greebling. And as you can see, I just used a bunch of 2x2 rounds, some 1 bricks to fill in the gaps. And then as you'll see, as you get a little closer down here, I had to fill in, I actually put in some smaller, not brick size, but just the flat pieces and just filled it all in. Wanted to start out with a little bit better base. And as I did the build, I think in the future I might do, I really like this idea, so I'd have to figure out how to get it to connect to something, because that was the part that I could not get to connect the way I wanted to. So I had the larger bottom piece, just kind of is going to rest on there. Now I had to figure out a way to get all these pieces to go together. So what I did with this is I wanted to get a core to go all the way through the entire lightsaber. As you can see, it's hollow. And then as I get up into my larger pieces, it's kind of the same idea there. It's just a spoked idea. So with this future build, I would build an elongated core like this with the 2x2 studs, make it thicker all the way through so there's less flex on the ribs or on the rods. But this, basically, I had to use as long of the rods as I had. They may have some longer ones, I'm not sure, with Technic. And I used this piece here to kind of keep it from moving around too much. As you can see, it fits in there pretty good, even though there's no connections.
Right.
So what I did with this is we go all the way through. You can see it pokes out, and this is kind of that Technic side going, and it pokes out just enough there on the bottom so that I can actually pop a cap on to keep the bottom fixed. So if the rod inside there, I use a grommet piece or connection, and use another rod, which I then just laid over. I had these radar dish pieces and these
lot of them.
wagon wheel pieces. Yeah, Tantive 4 engines. So this is what I had with my pieces. So I basically just put them all together because I wanted to get that ribbed look that we get on a lot of lightsabers. And although you see there is it does create a different dimension there.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, a lot of ships died, so these lightsabers were possible.
And that could be another thing that we run into is we dismantled some things. And what I did here could actually, some people might qualify it as an illegal build because I'm not actually building traditional style here. And as you can see here, it's just several rings I went with a different coloration at one point. I had all the one color on there, and I just felt it needed a little more. So again, several pieces connected with a rod, and I just did the alternating. And then I used these are like old space wheels. These also
Mm.
came on my Tantive 4 for the engines. And those go on there. They have the little gap in there, so it actually helps to fix the bottom piece here.
Mm.
Gives me a little bit of space, and those radar dishes fit in that wheel perfectly. So I just line up the connector piece in there again. And so I basically have my whole hilt there.
Mm.
And all connected with just the simple rods and connectors from the Technic links. And then I took apart another old classic set, took apart, and if anybody recognizes these from the old Anakin pod racer, I just put a little bit of accent on there to give it a little bit of color. When I had it, just the yellow pieces, these were pieces I really wanted to use. I thought they looked good, kind of had that classic, the blades going up the saber look of some of the old things that we're all used to.
Oh, yeah.
And then again, this is actually classic Lego build. I just did with the hinge pieces. And then you just fix them up or down or however you wanted to. I had an idea of maybe running some kind of energy binder down the side, but with what we built, it didn't work out. Just a couple 4x4 pieces down on the bottom, round ones, round bricks. And it slides together like so. I was able to get another wheel here so that I can actually more or less insert this piece in the top, because it did not look quite proportioned right. Just the 4x4 rounds like we were talking before. So I do that, and then I found this little emitter piece. I can't really tell you where I got this from.
Well, that looks fancy. Yeah,
4x4,
that doesn't look like an ordinary piece.
Yeah, this was, I kind of lost it when I found this piece, because I was like, oh, that'll be a perfect emitter. You know, it has the right look and everything, and the Lego build on top is correct. So it just snaps on there. And then I was looking to see if I could maybe find something that could cap on there, and that would just be, again, connecting maybe a little radar dish or light there, just with a little Technic stud. But then it all fixes, but you see there's a little flex in it.
Little
and that's why
wobble.
I wanted to run that core through the middle and maybe put some 4x4s in the middle of these. It would make it a little bigger, but it would solidify that build. But as you can see, in the grip, little big, down here would be a little small. So really, I think that 4x4.
Yeah, I think that's like the sweet spot. Yeah.
But as an overall build, I'm very confident in it. It looks good. You know, you could definitely do some good posing with it. But I would definitely solidify up the core, and then on the top with the greebling here, I would cap it all off so that none of the pieces will fall when you're gripping it too hard.
Right. Because
but otherwise,
the backside is a pretty intricate design. So
otherwise, this build is very good. When you build it and I connected it, there actually is a little bit of flex in the Legos, which is kind of strange. But if you built it, and you can totally understand what happens when you build it. But that's how, pretty fast build. But considering we didn't know what we were doing,
yeah,
it's definitely some creativeness, and I really got a lot out of that doing this.
Oh, 100%. And I think for the first time building, essentially life-size Lego lightsaber, I think you did great. I think the chat was pretty on board with that too, and worked out great.
Blade,
the blade.
The blade just sits on top. It will not fix.
It would technically work.
Yeah.
But
yeah, very happy with what we did. And yeah, I think these creative builds are something that you just don't get enough of.
Yeah.
Especially this piece.
Indeed. And yeah, just going right into mine. Mine kind of evolved into a more dark side looking lightsaber, very black and dark gray. I guess I'm Batman building these things now, but yeah, it was a very interesting build. I sort of took a different route than Padawannabe in the terms of technique. I didn't use too many. Like, the only really like round big pieces was like on the bottom and like in the middle section. Those are like some big round plates. But other than that, I tried because I wanted to try or like experiment with the idea of having an interior with the crystal. So if I take this paneling off, because I have like some studding on the side, so essentially here these spots are everywhere around the entire hilt where I applied those long pieces, and so essentially there on the inside you can see
That's so good.
there's the crystal chamber, and let me focus. And yeah, so you can see the green crystal inside connecting to the golden upper Technic rods. And pretty happy with how that came out. Overall, because of that, it came out a bit more clunky or thick. But I'm definitely satisfied with how this first version came out. And funny enough, I also used the pod racing pieces, but in
Oh
black.
yeah. Oh, nice.
But like a lot of them. But yeah, and then made some other accents with these inverted with these pieces. I think they're usually on car builds. They even you can technically move them too. Yeah, some silver and golden accents on the bottom, and here we have the on button, and here we often have like these two sorts of different buttons on a lightsaber, so I thought I'd include a second one. And the top, a very like spiky looking build, so on both sides a lot of spikes, and overall we have this long sort of Anakin looking kind of piece of the lightsaber where it's one side taller than the other, and in the middle we have the emitter, which is hollow, but I put a little Technic piece inside because on some lightsabers they have this little nod in the middle, and I thought that would be kind of fun to include. But yeah, overall, I mean, kind of same as Padawannabe. It's a bit thicker as expected, but no, overall, I think as a first build of a lightsaber, I think this came out great and learned a lot. I think the next time I'm going to try something similar in technique. Just I think I'm actually going to go with the 4x4 round tiles because I use this the 6x6, and I think I might actually be able to still include an interior chamber with the crystal if I have the 4x4, because if you have these pieces connected, it's already a bit wider than the 4x4, so that might actually work out. But yeah, that's with like the trial and error of the first build, and yeah, I think we both did a fantastic job for the first time. And yeah, you guys better bet your ass we're gonna do this again because that was hella fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's really something special about creating a
This
lightsaber.
was fun enough that I really don't want to take it apart.
I think I have to take it apart because I like a lot of these pieces, and I think I want to include them in a better way in the next one. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely gonna. I think I'm gonna keep it for as long as I can and look upon it a bit more. But I mean, now it's saved forever in this video and on
Mm-hmm.
stream. But yeah, really fun project. I highly recommend to anyone out there to do the same. I think we would both love to see other people trying to create
I would
something
love to
similar,
see someone else do this because it
right?
is. If you
And
like building
honestly,
Legos, this is what it's all about.
yeah, and honestly, I mean, if you want and like build lightsaber on stream with us,
Yep.
get in contact with me, YouTube, Discord, whatever. Always happy to bring on new people, and we'll make a new challenge of making a new lightsaber, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So, thank you all for watching, and We will see you next time.
May the force be with you.